Did you know? The Jak and Daxter franchise has won many awards and made its way into the Guinness Book of World Records a total of 7 times. The series' records include most successful single-format platform series, largest number of cutscenes in a platform game, and first seamless 3D world in a console game, the honor of which belongs to the first Jak and Daxter game. Work began for Jak 1 in January 1999 under the codename Project Y and was developed by 2 people while the rest of Naughty Dog worked on Crash Team Racing. A game like Jak and Daxter seemed impossible to implement on the original PlayStation, which is why Naughty Dog kept things simple in earlier games like Crash Bandicoot. However, the team realized a fully 3D adventure could be done after they saw Super Mario 64. An issue with games like Mario 64 was that they were very segmented, so one of Naughty Dog's biggest desires for Jak and Daxter was to immerse the player in a large, expansive, singular world. This was made possible with the help of a programming language called Goal. Created by Naughty Dog co-founder Gavin, Goal helped make the game's world seamless with no load times between levels. The smooth animations and colorful visuals, not to mention all the game's runtime code, are all byproducts of Goal. There were some issues with it though. Since only Gavin himself could understand the language, all changes made to it had to come directly from him. It also took over a year to develop the compiler, leaving programmers with missing features. Engineering for Jak 1 took 20 months, and they were so busy working on the game's technology, they didn't get to gameplay coding until fairly late in the project. The designers were forced to create enemies and settings for the game without knowing if they would work properly. But according to programmer Stephen White, had the designers not been so good at their jobs, the project could have been a disaster. The characters also had lengthy development cycles. Concept artist for Crash and Spyro, Charles ZEMBILLAS, was asked to create the game's protagonists. For Jak, Naughty Dog wasn't sure what they wanted, so ZEMBILLAS came up with several ideas from many different approaches. The first drawings of Jak show him with a wolf-like appearance. Sony of Japan wanted to go down this route with Jak initially, though Naughty Dog wasn't too keen on the design. Eventually, Jak got a more humanoid design based in royalty and heroism. He was later made more animalistic again, with martial arts and Native American themes attached to him. Artist Bob Raffay, a student of ZEMBILLAS, tweaked Jak and made his final iteration. According to Naughty Dog co-founder Jason Rubin, Jak's final design is inspired by comic book artist Joe Madureira and his work on Battle Chasers. The game's logo also draws parallels to the Battle Chasers logo. Lastly, Jak's name is of South African origin and was originally suggested by artist Josh Schur. Daxter started off looking very rodent-like, but his design later took on more of a monkey look for a period of time. This idea was scrapped, and ZEMBILLAS eventually came up with the design of Daxter we know today. Daxter's design netted Naughty Dog the award for Best Original Character at the 2002 Game Developers Conference, being the first award they ever received for a character. When it came to animating Daxter, animator John Kim was inspired by the movements of the monkey Abu from Disney's Aladdin. By the time Jak 1 was released, Jak 2's development was well underway. Jak 2 took a more mature direction in style and tone, as that's where they felt the industry was going. Games were getting more serious and their demographic was getting older, so Naughty Dog followed suit. One major influence on the game was the Grand Theft Auto series, along with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Some team members were opposed to the changes made, though one decision everyone liked was giving Jak a voice. Jak was originally mute, as the team thought a silent protagonist would help immerse the player in the game, similar to the likes of Crash Bandicoot. The Crash and Jak series share another connection through an Easter egg. The Venus flytrap enemy from Crash Bandicoot can be seen in Samus's hut in Jak 1, and there are many other secrets to be found in the Jak series. In the PS2 version of Jak 3, you can find a lone box atop a building in the Haven City port. Looking inside reveals a picture of the Naughty Dog development team. Another Easter egg can be found in Naughty Dog's Uncharted series. The strange relic treasure found in each game resembles the Jak series' precursor orbs. The precursor text found on the top and bottom rows of the orbs reads out Naughty Dog and Madman when translated. Jak 1's precursor blockers have text on them too. When translated, they read out, "You are getting really dizzy." In Jak 2 and 3, there are signs throughout the game that read out the name Morgan. Morgan was the name of Jason Rubin's Black Labrador, who was a big part of the Naughty Dog atmosphere. She passed away at age 13 during Jak 2's development, and the game is in memory of her. In Jak 3's Freedom HQ, precursor text on the computer screens read out the lines, "Morgan, I miss you. I will always love you. There will never be another. 13 years hard time. Good dog." Morgan is still missed after a year has passed. There have been a few attempts at continuing the Jak series. The Lost Frontier was initially being worked on by a team at Naughty Dog for the PSP, while another team worked on the PS3. However, the transition from the PS2 to the then new systems wasn't a smooth one. Most of their time was spent learning the hardware and little progress was made. Many employees quit out of frustration, and it seemed like the company was on the verge of death. To keep the studio afloat, the two teams became one and handed over the Lost Frontier to another developer, putting their whole team to work on the first Uncharted game. This wasn't the last time they tried making a Jak game though. The success of Uncharted 2 led the team to splitting into two once more. The new team was led by Bruce Straley and Neil Druckmann, and they explored the idea of creating a new Jak and Daxter game, but the idea was ultimately dropped. Neil Druckmann had said, "We were questioning, are we doing this for marketing reasons and naming something Jak and Daxter when it's not really Jak and Daxter, or are we really passionate about it?" And the answer was, we felt it was more for marketing. We felt like we weren't doing service to what fans of this franchise really liked, even if the reinvented Daxter is pretty damn good looking. When they told their supervisors about the issue, they said they were allowed to tell whatever story they wanted, which led to The Last of Us being made. The Last of Us has a few cameos and references to Jak and Daxter in areas throughout the game. More concept art for Jak 4 was revealed in Naughty Dog's 30th anniversary art book, as well as in July of 2015, showing backgrounds, more ideas for Daxter, and a very photorealistic Jak. Don't forget to subscribe for more facts and trivia, and before you go, we'd like you to vote on what you want to see covered in the future. A video on Uncharted, or another video on Crash Bandicoot. You can also vote by leaving a comment below. And if you want to see one of my videos that has nothing to do with Jak, check out this little analysis video I did about the Pokemon anime, specifically about a certain writer for the series and how he made the early portion of the anime so memorable, and how he would have made the show a lot darker had he had been given a chance. There's so much stuff in here that you likely don't know about, it's probably gonna blow your mind. Hope you like it. Bye-bye.